Hi, I'm Deborah Rubin Roberts, founder of Mommy Makeup, and I'm so excited to introduce our new paddle blender brush. The paddle blender brush maximizes the efficiency and use of our Mommy's Little Helper concealer. Rather than spreading your Mommy's Little Helper concealer on with a makeup sponge, you can tap and blur with our paddle blender brush. The paddle blender brush is made of premium synthetic vegan bristles, so it is very dense yet very, very compact and effective. You can use the paddle blender brush to blur and soften the edges of the Mommy's Little Helper concealer, so you get more coverage where you need it, yet it looks more natural and part of your skin. Paddle blender brush by Mommy Makeup, the best beauty for busy women. So, our new paddle blender brush comes as such with this little plastic cap on it. I'm going to take the cap off. The bristles of this brush are synthetic vegan hairs. They will not come out, and they're incredibly dense. I designed this brush so that it's very dense, so it maximizes the efficiency of our Mommy's Little Helper concealer. Now, right now, all I have on my face is mascara and some brow tint. I'm first going to apply our Velvet Veil because that is the canvas setter for the Mommy's Little Helper concealer and mineral dual powder. I have about the size of a pea there. I'm going to rub it in my hands and I'm going to just blend it all over my face. Okay, now I'm going to apply our Mommy's Little Helper concealer with our camouflage concealer brush. And I'm going to take a little bit in here and I'm going to paint it on. Now, I get my circles are from my inner corner to about there, right there. Nobody has a circle here or really out here. Very few people do. So I'm going to paint it on. And I'm going to let it sit there for a minute because it's going to start to become one with my skin. And where the paddle blender brush is going to come in handy is rather than having to take the entire area and blend it out with a makeup wedge, the paddle blender is going to just simply like blur the edges, so you're going to maximize the efficiency of the Mommy's Little Helper concealer, and you're also going to have a faster application. Now I'm going to put a little in the corner of my nose and the corner of my mouth. And this is an old stage makeup trick that I've adapted for every day. When you put your Mommy's Little Helper concealer here, it actually softens the shadows a little bit. So I'm going to do that on this side too. And now I'm just going to go and spot conceal just a few areas on my face. I know I want to get to the paddle blender brush to show you the awesomeness of it and how it works really well. So I'm doing this super quick just to get it on. So now I have Mommy's Little Helper concealer spot concealed under my eyes and on my face. Rather than, again, taking that makeup wedge and blending it all out, I'm going to use the paddle blender brush and I'm going to do what I kind of call tap and blur. I'm going to tap and blur, and I'm going to tap and blur out the edges. And so I'm getting more coverage in the spots I need it because the brush is just blurring out the edges rather than me having to spread with a makeup wedge. And I'm doing this all over wherever I put the Mommy's Little Helper concealer. I'm kind of like gently tapping out the edges. It's the shape of the brush and the quality of these hairs that make it just kind of, as I'm tapping, it like disappears into my face, but still gives me coverage. It doesn't disrupt the coverage of the Mommy's Little Helper concealer. It just softens the edges so it blurs and blends into my skin. So this makes Mommy's Little Helper Concealer even more efficient and effective. Now I'm going to get right in here in my inner corner of my eye to soften the concealer there. And I'm even going to tap it out. I like to do my eyes, blending of the eyes last. And that is because I like to let it sit and become one with my skin in my under eye area for as long as possible. And there you go. Now I'm going to take our new kabuki brush, made also of premium synthetic vegan bristles, and I'm going to take our mineral dual powder and I'm going to swirl it and tap it. And I'm just gently pressing and tapping, pressing and tapping. I like to get a lot in here because I find it softens my big pores that I have there. And now to set the concealer, I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to kind of squish it a little, and I'm going to set it here. So now I've just completed doing my concealer and foundation with our Mommy's Little Helper Concealer and Mineral Dual Powder, and we've used the paddle blender brush to maximize the efficiency of the Mommy's Little Helper Concealer and to also extend the wear and usage of the product. Paddle blender brush by Mommy Makeup, the best beauty for busy women.